Hello everyone, my name is Juan, and in this video I wanted to talk about my experience with beginner strength programs, my training history, and my lifting related goals moving forward. All of the black and white footage is going to be there as filler and stuff I'm going to talk on top of, and the rest is stuff that I will reference throughout the video. Enjoy! My first time in a gym was back in 2015. However, I didn't take it too seriously and I stopped going about 2 months in. A whole lot happened, more than I want to talk about in this video, but basically in 2018 I lost about 10 kilograms. I went down from 80 kilograms to 70 kilograms after a doctor told me I was overweight for my age and height, and looking back that was very excessive and I probably could have done by going halfway down to 75 kilograms, but whatever. It was after this point, around 2019, that I started taking lifting a bit more seriously. And since my father worked as a university professor, I started going to that university's gym. During this time, I was following a 4-day-a-week split bodybuilding leg resistance training program. The program basically consists in me testing 1 rep maxes in a variety of lifts like bench press, incline bench press, leg press, squat, and a bunch of others. I will then use 70% of that 1 rep max for 8 to 12 reps. The week after 70% again. Then I will follow with a week where I will do a bunch of supersets. Then I will do a week where I will do a bunch of pyramids. Then I will repeat that but using 75% of the 1 rep max I started out with. And then after that second cycle I will test my 1 rep max and repeat the process all over. This was the protocol that was recommended to me by personal trainers that work at that gym. On top of that I was doing about 20 minutes of cardio that eventually evolved into 20 minutes of HIIT cardio. Also recommended by the personal trainers of that gym. I was also doing high rep calisthenics during this time, and as I seen on the cake, I decided I was going to main gain and not allow myself to go above 13% body fat. Thanks, Greg. I followed this to a T because I didn't know any better. I didn't know that gaintaining was only going to last for the first 2 months or so of newbie gains. I didn't know that doing HIIT cardio was non-conducive to resistance training because it will drain your energy stores, or that I did not need to be constantly sore to build muscle, or that my 1 rep maxes were supposed to go up on a week by week basis as a beginner lifter, and therefore it was stupid to use the same 1 rep max for 2 months straight. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. By the end of 2019, my 1 rep max bench was 74 kilos, my 1 rep max squat was 77 kilos, and my 1 rep max deadlift was 110 kilos. All pretty crappy, I know. But anyways, at the start of 2020 I was about to continue with the same thing that I did the previous year. However, the university gym was closed due to some internal issues with the university, which I won't go into detail, but basically I changed gyms. I followed an upper-lower rest repeat split for about 2 weeks. With consistent progressive overload, adding about 5 kilograms per session, I had also stopped doing calisthenics and HIIT because I got bored of them, and also stopped main gaining. Followed a proper lean bulking approach. I followed this new training split for about 2 weeks and then tested my maxes, and in that time my bench press went up to 80 kilos for a set of 5, my squat went up to 115 kilos for a single, and despite not doing conventional deadlifts during this time, my deadlift went up to 130 kilos. I almost puked doing that, by the way. Doing the 130 kilo lift, seriously, that was pretty poor, but I did it. This was the time when I realized my previous approach to training was very suboptimal. Around this time, March 2020, the COVID-19 lockdown began in my country. I was stuck with home workouts for about 6 months. I learned a lot about the strength training during this time and decided I wanted to focus on powerlifting once gyms reopened. And so I did. In September, gyms were allowed to reopen. I started following Strong Lifts 5x5 for a couple weeks, which you will see as background filler for this video. But I eventually switched to GreyskullLP after I watched a video by PowerLifting to Win and saw him explain how the auto-regulation provided by the plusets made it a better novice option to the Strong Lifts straight loading approach. Because technically speaking I wasn't a complete novice, I stalled at late October with these linear programs. By this time my 1 rep max deadlift was 140 kilos, my squat 1 rep max was 125 kilos, and my bench 1 rep max was 97.5 kilos. After talking around the Pure Bullfits Facebook group, I decided I was going to buy a video call service from Kevin. You may know him as Pure Bullfit. After talking with him about deadlift form and learning how to pull the slack out of the bar as well as proper width stance for my anthropometry and all of that stuff, I started following MadCow 5x5. I followed it for 7 weeks and then decided to test my 1 rep maxes. My squat had gone up to 135 kilos. My bench press went up to 102.5 kilos, and my deadlift went up to 180 kilograms. Yep, that is about 40 kilograms added to my deadlift in only 7 weeks, mostly from better technique. Anyways, currently I want to get stronger and possibly enter a powerlifting meet next year once I can enter the junior age class. My current total, or at least my biggest lifts, total around 417.5 kilograms. I'm hoping I can get close to 500 kilograms by the time I decide to compete. But yeah, that's basically how it's going. And stick around if you like more content in this channel.